millions and billions of men and women. And almost all of them are less intelligent because they have very little knowledge of the spirit soul. Almost all of them have a wrong conception of life, for they identify themselves with the gross, subtle bodies, gross and subtle bodies, which they are not in fact. They may be situated in different high and low positions in the estimation of the human society. But one should know definitely that unless one inquires about his own self beyond the body and the mind, all his activities in human life are total failures. Therefore, out of thousands and thousands of men, one may inquire about his spirit self, and thus consult the revealed scriptures like Vedanta Sutras, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. But in spite of reading and hearing such scriptures, unless one is in touch with the realized spiritual master, he cannot actually realize the real nature of the self, etc. Out of thousands and thousands of men, someone may know what Lord Krishna is in fact. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that Lord Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, prepared the Vedic literatures in the incarnation of Vyasadeva for reading by the intelligent class of men in human society, which is almost totally forgetful of genuine relations with Krishna. Even such an intelligent class of men may be forgetful in their relation with Krishna, with the Lord. The whole Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga process is therefore a revival of the lost relation. This revival is possible in the form of human life, which is obtained only out of evolutionary cycle of 84 species of life. The intelligent class of human being must take a serious note of this opportunity. Not all human beings are intelligent. So the importance of human life is not always understood. Therefore, Manishina means thoughtful, is particularly used here. A Manishinam person like Maharaj Parikshit must therefore take the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and fully engage himself in devotional service, hearing, chanting, etc. of the holy name and the pastimes of the Lord, which are all Harinaam. This action is especially recommended when one is preparing for death. Dasans to Bhakti-Vedanta. Om Ajnana-Vivrandasya Jnana-Anjana-Shalakaya Chakshurum-Militam Yena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah Namo Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat the translation. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, as you have inquired from me, as to the duty of the intelligent man, who is on the threshold of death, so I have answered you. So this is the first verse of the chapter titled Pure Devotional Service, Change in Heart. And Shukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit that You have inquired from me what is the duty of an intelligent person who is going to meet death. And so I have explained to you. This entire Bhagavatam narration by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit is background of it. You all know Maharaj Parikshit was destined to be bitten by a snake and die in 7 days, and then accordingly he went in search of someone who can explain to him what he should do now. So accordingly, this Shukadeva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit meet, and Shukadeva Goswami speaks of Bhagavatam, and hearing that, Maharaj Parikshit gets all his answers. In this purport, Prabhupada is talking about in this world, there are millions and billions of men and women, and almost all of them are less intelligent because they have very little knowledge of who they are. Almost all of them have a wrong conception about themselves. They think they are this gross body and the mind. Gross body, the subtle body. Subtle body is sometimes referred to as mind. Subtle body includes manas, buddhi and ahankara. So let us discuss this particular thing that Prabhupada is telling. A very fundamental understanding for spiritual life is the concept about ourselves, the self-concept. We all have a self-concept. Who am I? We have a self-concept. That mistaken knowledge of who I am is a cause of material activities, is a cause of material existence. If you simply understand who I am, that is self-realization. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, who I am? Jivere Swarupo Hindere Krishna Dasa. You are eternal servant of Krishna. Every jiva is an eternal servant of Krishna. That is the Jivere Swarupo. Just like in this material world, if somebody asks, who are you? You will always refer to yourself as a social being, definition. What is that? I am son of so and so, or I am staying in this housing society. I am staying in this apartment. I am the one who is staying in this apartment. Where you stay? What you do? Who are you? I am a doctor. So what you are doing, a doctor means what? It's not really, it's a doctor for people. That means all a social definition. I am a doctor, I am residing in this apartment. Or he will say that I am father of so and so, I am son of so and so. You all give references of your identity with reference to society. Society means other people. This is what we all have. Anything something else we have about self-concept. Let's say my self-concept. My self-concept is, most of the time when you say, who are you? In my mind I am not thinking I am this body. In your mind you are thinking this body is part of a society, this body is so and so. So it's a relationship that we are mostly talking about. Because of the modern science education, what is this? If you ask, you say, no, this is brass. What is this? You say, this is wood. Similarly, somebody asks, who are you? Natural answer will not be a social answer. Answer will be, I am this body. Panchabhuta. Otherwise, most of the time, if somebody asks you, who are you? You don't answer, I am this Panchabhuta. You always give an answer which is connected to your relationship with the society. So just look at this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivere Swarupa Indira Krishna. Means Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also giving a definition of what is our eternal position. Whom do we belong to? So Krishna is eternal. So when I say I am Swarupa, Jivere Swarupa Nitya Krishna Dasa, I am servant of Krishna, then that is my eternal identity. So my eternal identity of who I am, I have forgotten. Material life means forgetting our hope, forgetting who we are. Suppose I take a person out of his family, take him away somewhere far away, wipe out his memory, who he is, and then tell him something else. In a new society he goes. Then there he says, take an example, a newborn baby, separated from their mother and father. He doesn't know anything. You go and place it in another house. The child will grow up there thinking they are their parents, isn't it? But what is the truth? Truth is somebody else is the father and mother of the child. So he is forgetful. He lives a full existence forgetful of who he is, but he is creating a definition of who he is in the material world. I am father of so and so, I am this and that, all those things. So this activity, this function is done by Maya. She takes us away from Krishna. Takes us away from Krishna society. That means Vaikuntha Loka. And makes us think that you are so and so, you are husband of so and so, you are wife of so and so, you are member of this society, etc., etc. And how it is achieved? Same thing. First you are born into a family, and then naturally your parents, your relatives, everything is centered around that. But here one advantage is how to come out of this scam, Maya scam. There is some plus points in this human form of life. With middle intelligence, you see that my body is changing continuously. from babyhood to boyhood to manhood to old man to death. So only temporarily I am thinking, so what is if I was the father of so and so, how long I am the father of so and so? If I am the son of so and so, how long I am the son of so and so? That means these are temporary designations. I want to know. And though they are temporary designation, my tendency is to think I am always the son of so and so. He doesn't think that in this life I am son of so and so, next life I am son of so, somebody else. He doesn't think. If he is in this life, he will think, who are you? Who is your father? My father is so and so. Who is your mother? My mother is so and so. When the answer is given, the tendency is to talk in terms of as if eternally they are father and mother. Who is your wife? Who is your children? You will answer like that. So in the material life, how? By simply, let us say if Maya had given us a body that doesn't grow old, Maya had given us a body that doesn't die, right? Then it is a super trap. It's a super trap. You will never know who you are. Fortunately, because Maya is Krishna's agent, Maya is given a duty to make the jivas realize that they cannot be happy without being with Krishna. Therefore, it's all designed very nicely. Of course, especially those living entities who are born on the earth are very fortunate. Those who are born in the Surgaloka, they don't see smashanas. They don't see people carrying dead bodies. On this earth we see, they are driving by, suddenly one dead body is being carried. We see so many dead bodies. And also in our own lifetime, as we grow from childhood, we see people dying. You start thinking, क्या है? ये आदमी अभी तक हमारे पास था, अभी भी एड्रेस ही नहीं है, किधर है? As child itself we start asking, what is this? So the transiency of material existence, fortunately, is very apparent on earth. That is why even demigods for self-realization, they desire that I have to take birth on the earth. And especially if the demigod wants to get rid of material existence due to transcendental knowledge, then he has to take birth in Lord Chaitanya's movement. Probably many people who are in Lord Chaitanya's movement, they were all demigods. Last life. No, not you. We have to be careful. Demigod, a lot of good qualities should be shown up right from childhood. In Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we have been, in spite of being so fallen, we have got an opportunity for the path of self-realization. But it is a fact, as Prabhupada says, demigods also wait for an opportunity to be for such periods of super discount of mercy of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, because why it is so? Because just by chanting Hare Krishna, quick cleansing happens and very fast you can get out of this material. It's not easy to get out of this material. It's not easy to come out of this forgetfulness that I am servant of Krishna. Not easy. It's very deep. Many layers of consciousness, contaminated consciousness is covering us. Because of the Shakti of the Namna Makari Baudan, it is Sarva Shakti. Therefore, we are satisfied even sitting today here and okay, serving Krishna. Otherwise, the 100 questions is why am I serving Krishna? Who is Krishna? Where is Krishna? All doubts will come. Where is the proof? They are all brainwashed. Where is the proof? Whole life is about Krishna is a very good Krishna. Have you seen him walking? Have you seen him talking? Have you seen him? Pura philosophy and pura knowledge. Brainwashed. That's what the parents say. That's what many people say. In the West. That is called brainwashing. But they don't understand that we have got consciousness experience. You got experience, that means you see effects in your chitta by chanting Hare Krishna. We see effect in your chitta in taking prasadam. You see effects in chitta when you attend the Sankirtana, chanting. You see effect in your chitta when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam and your mind is opening up. These are all the experiences which are in another plane, consciousness plane. Sum total of all our experiences with the body, subtle body, gross body, results in contaminated consciousness. Contaminated consciousness is called chittam. There are 24 elements described by Sankhya philosophy. And after Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, one more element is given, which normally is not talked about. For instance, Krishna talks about 8 material elements. So, he talks about 8 elements. There are 8 material elements. There is the soul. Soul is just like sun. Sun is never alone but with sunlight. Soul is also like that. Soul is never a thing, but it is something that emanates something. What is that it emanates? Consciousness, yes. It emanates consciousness. Now this consciousness, into our consciousness, the interactions of the Panchabhuta and 3 elements mix. How do they mix? What is the primary property of consciousness? Is awareness. Perception. Now I see you. That's an activity of the soul, it's an activity of consciousness. So this Panchabhuta and the 3 subtle elements, interaction is called 3 modes of material nature. The 3 modes of material nature's interaction, the Atma perceives it. It perceives. When it perceives, our consciousness, such a consciousness is called contaminated consciousness. So contaminated consciousness is a 24th element. So that is what Prabhupada is saying here, that we do not know we are spirit soul. We are thinking I am the gross body. We are thinking I am the mind. We are thinking I am the intelligence. We are thinking I am the social ego. These are all our material life, social ego, our intelligence that discriminate things, that helps you. Helps the ego organize things to attain its objective, to manipulate material energy That is called intelligence. And the mind, which accepts and rejects, that is also another instrument. So with all these instruments, subtle instruments, it is like the entire, our body-mind system is a bio-psycho-physical robot. Bio-psycho-physical robot. Modern science, modern technology is nowhere near creating this kind of a robot. They can only create a physical robot. No psycho, no bio, biological as an organism. It is a material activity. Cells are being formed, and cells are dying, and different DNA, and all those things. The entire system is a machine. It's a very highly sophisticated robot. And we are riding on this robot. So we are aware about this. This robot is such that when you ride on it, it will duplicate as if it is you. It is you. But we have to understand that this is only a vehicle for me. A robotic vehicle for me. Decided if you I am not this. Suddenly whole life you are thinking I am the car, I am the car, I am the car. And somebody tells you, hey, you are not the car. Oh, अच्छा है हम कार में. If you think you are the car, कार से बाहर ही नहीं निकलेगा. उधर ही बैठ जाता है. घुमाओ देखते रहो. कार के अंदर ही बैठ के खाओ, सो करो पूरा लाइफ 100 years हो गया कार के अंदर बैठ के. Somebody is saying, "Nee, yaar, you are not this car. Come out. You can see many more things." You get into a bird's car, then you can fly. Somebody is having a human body. Oh, nice. What is it? And to the sky it can so nice. That is the facility of the bird body. Or somebody is very brilliant, just like we used to think. If you have in your school some brilliant boy, then you look, admire him. I wish I was like that. And one maths problem like this you will solve. Brilliant child. His bio robot is capable of performance like that. A cycle, at what speed it will move. Bullock cart will move at what speed. All are vehicles for transportation. A Maruti car is different. Each car is different. And you will see, as you need sophisticated and speed, it costs more and more. I used to analyze this. When I was in IIT, there used to be weekly tests. We practically found out your grade depends simply on how fast your microprocessor is. That's all. Because all are intelligent fellows who come there. सबको मालूम है कैसा सॉल्व करना है क्या. So examiners के लिए एक ही क्राइटेरियन है. Give enough problems, whoever does very fast, he'll be on the top. Bell rings, 45 minutes over, question paper hand over. Most of the people who come out of the exam, what is this? I knew everything. But there was not enough time. But the same examination, You saw some boys getting up in half an hour and going, giving the paper and going. What is the difference? How fast they could think. Good karma. He has paid some good money to buy that car. If you buy a Mercedes, it can go nicely without disturbance. Sometimes, some people's mind is also very disturbed. Disturbed mind. Some people's mind, very cool. It's all material actually. Very cool. Just like, let's say there is the same road, full of potholes. If you go on in a vehicle which is having very good suspension, you won't feel it all. And you go in Maruti, your body all will turn this way and that way. So you are disturbed. So your disturbance is due to the road and kind of car that you have. So this world, we meet so many things in this world, so many situations for dukkha, sukha, all those things. If you have a good vehicle, which again comes due to karma, good karma, you earn. A cycle is cheaper than a motorcycle, motorcycle is cheaper than a car, Maruti car is cheaper than some other car, that is cheaper than another kind of car, that is cheaper than another kind of car. And then finally, a car is, even the best of the car is cheaper than an airplane. Gold is all transportation. Similarly, this biocomputer goal is what? Sukha. Everybody wants independent enjoyment. So each body gives, you have your own limitations. Sukha. But actually we are entitled for a body that gives eternal sukha. So Krishna consciousness is not some sacrifice and all those kind of things. Krishna consciousness is about how Prabhupada is equipping us, how you can all buy an airplane, super airplane. If you have a spiritual body, you can have spiritual rasa. That's called bhakti rasa. That is the highest, this mundane, material. We want rasa, but we are all trying to get into this independent, without Krishna, this kind of rasa. Therefore, we have to transmigrate from one body to another body to another body. So, as Prabhupada says, the entire system of self-realization is to realize our lost relationship. We have to realize our lost relationship. Once that's why when we hear Bhagavatam, when we hear this philosophy, suddenly you will feel, at some point of time when you chant Hare Krishna, you will feel, what is all this joke? I am this body, I am son of so-and-so, how long, what is it? Then the question comes, who is my eternal relative? I want to know who is my eternal relative. Everybody I leave behind here and go. And they also will leave everybody behind and go. So the whole world is a joke. 100 years back, all the Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, all gone. All gone. Because the world now, new men and women, billion. क्या चल रहा है? क्या चल रहा है? You'll ask this question. The souls are eternal. It's a fact. For each, we are playing a different role in each life. And then in that particular life, some destiny of rasa is there. Ananda rasa, Chitta rasa, Satya rasa. Sat rasa means power rasa. I am rich, I am powerful, I made it, I am this, I am successful in the society, I am a millionaire. Rasa. Chitta rasa.
things. I'm an educated man, I know this, I know that, I know that. And he takes pride in rasa. Ananda rasa. Satchit Ananda is we are imitating sense pleasure, love, wife, good wife, good children, very sweet children, very sweet wife, everything. Like that. There is Ananda rasa. But all rasas in this material world, first it is temporary. Dhoka, cheating, first, because it doesn't last. I am thinking it will last, but it doesn't last. The moment I think it will be lost, then rasa itself disappears. It affects the rasa. If I constantly remember my children are going, actually, even if you think my children are going to go away, it's like mothers, they think, as long as the sons are all there, they always feel, my son is with me, no, my son, all these things. But they, for a moment, when if they think, my son will grow up, he'll get married, and then his whole attention will be his wife. इतना हो गया तो हम, and I am thinking the son is mine. ना सोचने से immediately sober हो जाए. It's a reality. And what to speak of, we all have to die. You all have to leave each other. You become detached. And look for where is my positive internal relationship. So that is that kind of, simply by intellectually we cannot awaken that. We have to awaken that by chanting, hearing, devotional service, Harikatamrita. That is what Maharaj Parikshit did. He heard Srimad Bhagavatam, whom I belong to, who is my internal relative, etc. He heard. And then it awakened this original home consciousness. Home consciousness. Now we are not in our home consciousness. We are in false home consciousness. And human life on earth is so wonderful that within few decades, because we are all going to die in few decades, not that we are going to live for centuries. In few decades we are all going to die. You have to visualize the whole world, or all your world of friends and everything will be looking at your body one day, lying, motionless. And you also will be looking from the top. They say the soul hovers around the after dead body, about 13 days it hovers around. That is why we do all these rituals and send the soul away. Good job. That's also one of the reasons the body is burnt also. But even if the body is burnt, the soul's mind and everything will be attached to father, mother, the old environment. So the soul actually hangs around for 10-15 days unless you do all those pujas and all those things. It will not. That's why those pujas are all done for the benefit of the soul. It's because it has to get ready and go and take another birth. If you don't do all this puja karma, then it doesn't help the soul to get cut off, detached from the old consciousness, the present consciousness. Suppose I take birth as a baby and then as I, even 3 years old, 4 years old, I start remembering all my past lives. Can I live a normal life? I cannot live a normal life. But there are cases like this. Evidence of reincarnation. Cases like this. The kids are, the kid says that, some names they will cite and some description they will give. This is my house and all. Suddenly it goes into the consciousness. My house like this, like that. So some city's name and all come. Actual names come out. and parents' name now comes out in another country. So researchers have taken the child and then have shown the child, and the child starts hugging the whom the child thinks is his or her father, mother, brother, or a lot of evidence they found out. You tell all small things. Your uncle, do you remember your uncle who had this one eye blind? Oh yes, very. Or they don't say one eye blind. What was this problem? The child will say, my uncle was blind, uncle, one eye blind. So reincarnation, so many investigations have been done. The reincarnation is a fact. So all this also will tell us, don't take your present situation so seriously. Take your relationship with Krishna seriously. Every relationship in this world has come to you sometime and it will go. It has come to you sometime. That means there was a time when I did not have any relationship with my son. There was a time when I did not have any relationship with the soul who has come as my husband. Neither did my husband ever had any relationship, wife had any relationship with the husband. Isn't it? The souls are coming together. So Bhagavatam talks about just like in the river, surface of the river, the foam, many bubbles come together, and as the river is flowing, the bubbles separate. But we all are relationship beings. We want relationship. We are sad when the separate bubbles separate, we are sad. So where do you get that inseparable relationship? Krishna. So our real rasa is with Krishna. So developing relationship with Krishna, best thing is chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Because you don't have to develop a relationship with Krishna. You will awaken your relationship. Because it is already there. Who you belong to is already, it's a fact in your heart. You don't have to put in your heart, I belong to Krishna. When bhakti awakens, Krishna consciousness awakens, where is it? I don't need any evidence. I am part and parcel of Krishna. So entire goal is to send this Hare Krishna Mahamantra to the ears into our chittam, into our contaminated consciousness. It has the power to cleanse that consciousness of three-modes of material nature, that consciousness becomes very clear. When it becomes very clear, we see who. All other processes are helping us. In bhakti, other processes of bhakti help us. Actually, Shabda should go inside and touch the chitta. No doubt, we have to purify our activity, we have purified our thinking, we have purified our feeling, we have purified our willing. All these things we have to purify. Yes.
Actually, two questions. So first thing is like, as you said, chitta. Chitta says as a memory we have of our past, and so many other things like so many emotions, so many prejudices that get stored in our consciousness, in our system as such. And is it what we are calling contaminated chitta, and when light falls on it, it becomes activated and that's how it acts? Or how is the difference between chit, we are talking about in Satchitananda, and chitta we talk about consciousness?
Chitta is the consciousness that comes out of the jiva. Right? Once it comes out, it mixes with the three modes of material nature, it becomes chitta and it is deposited in the system. It is, in modern language, they call it subconscious. That means you have so many, all the memories of your past lives and everything is there actually inside you. So chitta means is just like so many movies are recorded and kept. You put one movie, it starts playing, right? But that by itself there is nothing, is a light patch. But who is the seer of the movie? You. So with your fresh chit, when you see the chittam, you get involved in that. So chittam by itself is a material element because it is a memory of, it is an experiential memory. Suppose let us say you visited a very wonderful place. For all your senses, everything beautiful looking, this, that, everything. It goes into your memory. When it goes into your memory, not only visuals go into your memory, your feelings also go into memory. Let's say your school days. Nice experiences in your school days. You feel nostalgic when you see the building as you go by. Where is that coming from? Where did it come from suddenly? Not from your current consciousness. It came from your children. But who is experiencing that nostalgic feeling? You. How can you experience that? Only with your chit, because your ability to be aware. Now your ability to be aware, now you may respond to that memory, a new memory is created. Oh, I have to find out who are the alumni and I should join the school alumni club or something, I have to join. So you're taking a new decision. And then you go and meet all your old friends and all those things. You're creating on the old chittam, you're creating a new layer of chittam. So actually the word used is chittam, contaminated consciousness. Chitta is the online ability to be aware. When you throw your chitta on the material nature, you get a reflection of that. That is the memory. Just like that's why it is said that when your mirror of the mind is cleansed, mind will still come there. When the mirror of your mind is cleansed, it becomes transparent. You will see your real face on it. If on the mirror there is dust, or if the mirror is curved, you will see your face distorted. But does it mean that you are distorted? No. You are in front of the mirror. There is no distortion in you. Distortion is because of the mirror of the mind. Similarly, ahankara, I am an enjoyer, is a distortion. You are not. And why you are feeling you are the enjoyer then? Because you are identifying with that distorted picture there. Identifying is the cause. But prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha. Everything is carried out by the mirror. Yes.
We understand the example of sunshine, sun globe itself and sun god. And this example has been taken to make us understand how Bhagavan, Paramatma and Brahman feature exist. So then that light feature which we are talking about, that chittam, that consciousness, is it a impersonal aspect of soul we are talking about? And does it have...
It is a Shakti. Our entire philosophy is Shaktiman and Shakti. Existence means God with his energies. Similarly, we are his Amsha. We have our inherent energy, Brahman energy, to be aware. In continuous potency it is. Doesn't stop. Unless you take birth in a stone. The soul of a stone. That comes from the soul of a stone. Inanimate. Then you don't have much of your experience of self, almost nothing. Awareness is very low. In plants, awareness is much less than in animals. For us, in human form, awareness is much more than, and that means much more subtler things we can. For instance, Bhagavatam class, animals cannot hear. They don't want to hear, it doesn't make sense. For us, it makes sense.
Like so explain when someone dies, so
Hmm?
someone dies to perform ritualistic activities, it helps him to cut down his relationship or bondage, or helps him to forget the previous relationship.
And lead a normal life next life.
The same way, like we also hear, we chant, so we also get detached. We also feel free, separated from material things. So what is the difference both of them?
No difference. That is why he said. That is why it is said that unless you die when you are alive, your spiritual life doesn't begin. First, when you are in this body, you should die. Then your spiritual life begins.
Diksha, second birth.
Yes. See, second birth, meaning of Diksha is second birth is this.
So unless we feel detached, actually real Diksha is not.
नहीं, दीक्षा is initiation, beginning. अभी से शुरू करो मरना का. थोड़ा साल जप करो, पूरा तुम्हारा चित्त मरना है. मेटीरियल चित्त मरना है. मैं इसका हूँ, मैं उसका हूँ, मैं किसी का नहीं, कृष्ण का ही है. तुम भी कृष्ण का हो. इसलिए मैं तुमको कुछ सेवा करने के तुम्हें सेवा करेंगे. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं कृष्णा का हूँ करके सब छोड़ देते हैं. नहीं, वो कृष्णा का हूँ कृष्णा बोलते हैं, बाकी सबको भी लेके आओ मेरे पास. तो उसका सेवा करो, उसको भी याद दिलाओ, उसको भी चैन कराओ, उसको भी प्रीचिंग करो, प्रसारण दे दो, उसके साथ रहो, घर में रहो, एक घर बनाओ, सब करो, मेरे लिए करो. इसीलिए कोई डिवोटी ग्रस्त बनता है. वो कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस बंद नहीं होता है ग्रस्त. प्रोवाइडेड फॉर व्हाट पर्पस यू आर शुड नॉट. यस.
So we mentioned that chitta, when it comes into contact with the eight material things, so it becomes the chitta memory will be. So is
Experiential memory.
Experiential. So is should our effort be to reduce that memory, because it's not. Should our effort be to reduce that memory? We should not have that memory. That memory is not good for us. So should we actually be reducing that chitta memory?
No, we replace that with transcendental chitta. That means, for instance, you come and see the deities, feel good. It is an experience for your chitta, isn't it? And that you remember. When you go out, you go to office, you remember. That means now new memories are being put which are spiritualized and which have spiritual meaning. Earlier, our experiences, our rasa, had no spiritual meaning. Whereas here, when Krishna is involved, it is actually spiritual memory. What is this? So many leelas of the different devotees who are in the material world. So this is also, pure consciousness of pure devotee. Shukadeva speaking, Parikshit hearing, all being described. When we hear that, it's all part of this material. Shukadeva was in this material world. Maharaj Parikshit was in the material world. ये क्यों फिर याद करता है? They were not in the, though they were physically in the material world, their chitta was spiritual chitta, pure consciousness. Therefore, we have to, yes, for instance, before we come into Krishna consciousness, we think the life is meant for enjoying. Myself enjoying, and those who are dear to me also give them maximum enjoyment. This is the principle of it. This is a chittam, the memory of your personality. You have to cleanse that. That means you redefine yourself. So when you redefine, how does chittam get cleansed? By knowledge. Chittam is consisting of ignorance and knowledge. Today you have become a devotee, so part of it is your chittam is devotee chittam. Part of it is your old chittam.
So slowly this, you see, then if you have a glass of contaminated water, the easiest way to take out all the contaminated particles, keep it under a tap, open the tap. As the water is being filled up, after 10 minutes you go and see, you get a clear water. All the old water has gone. What they are doing is Krishna consciousness. Chanting, hearing, listening, connecting, everything. Family life, everything connected to Krishna. Then you see, slowly you will feel the experience of how your water, your Chittam is surrounding the soul. How that is become clear, sattvic, sattva becomes the experience. Jai Vrindavan, yes.
It's just that earlier also we have been developing layer after layer of experiential memory in our Chittam during our previous births as well as in this birth.
Right.
But those are not being replaced, they are being layered. But you're saying transcendental knowledge and transcendental experiential memory can replace the
Yes.
material.
No, it not only, while replacing, you will not know what it is replacing. So you don't have to remember that, oh, that bad thinking should go. It will automatically go, just like you are not aware. The water is open, tap is open, all the particles, even so many are going at a time out. All the contaminant things are going out by the power of the process. So in the same way, the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is a ocean of Satta, Chitta and Ananda. What is in the middle? Chitta. There is a Chitta Shakti there. The Chitta flows from the Nama. And normally when you hear Bhagavatam and all, okay, you are hearing some detailed knowledge. How is that? How is this? All these things. But when you chant Hare Krishna, suppose there is a, an explosion. Explosion means wholesale blowing up. Take a revolver and hit one bullet, you want to hit somebody. You put an explosive, boom, 1,000 bullets, what it will do? Is it not? The same way, okay, you read Shastra, you philosophize, yes, I am servant of Krishna and all those things you will say. So they are like bullets. But if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, it is EAD explosives. Inside it will blow our ignorance out. Step by step, step by step. You become a different person simply by chanting. Chant for 1 year, you become a different person. Your value system changes. It's not so easy to change value system and all. It is not easy to change habits. Not at all easy to change habits. Suppose you are attached to non-vegetarian. It's not easy to give up the taste for non-vegetarian. Because the Hare Krishna Mahamantra goes inside, your taste for such things will go down. And your change, habits will change, lifestyle will change, everything will change because the Chittam is changing wholesale. Rangaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.